Hi, it's Chanel, and welcome to another episode of Easy Meals in the Kitchen with Chanel. And on tonight's episode, we are going to do an easy country rib oven, the country ribs that I'm going to put in the oven. How about that? Okay. So, I've already washed my meat. I have it in the pan. I have my oven set to 350. So I have my seasonings out. So we're just going to jump right into this quick and easy recipe. Nothing spectacular, but I just wanted to show you guys how I prepare my version of country ribs that I'm going to put in the oven. At some point, once they're almost ready, I'm going to take them out. Some of them I'm going to put some barbecue sauce on, and then some I'm going to leave plain. So let's get right into this video. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. It's always a pleasure to see familiar faces. So let's jump into this video, guys. All right, for my seasonings, I'm going to use a little Lawry's, some black pepper. Y'all know I put paprika on everything. So paprika and some granulated garlic. So I'm going to season the front and the back. Let's get started. I try to only touch the seasonings with one hand and the meat with the other hand. I'm just gonna run the pepper across each one of them at one time. I'm just going right across. Everybody's getting a dip at the same time. So that's why it may look like I'm shaking a lot, but actually I'm not. I'm getting all the pieces at one time. When I do the front, so just a little bit of Lawry's. And I actually think I may cut up a couple of onions to go in here to give it a nice kick. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly show you guys. This is what it looks like. Okay, so I did the front. So I'm just gonna flip these guys over and do the back, and I'll tap you guys right back in. Okay, so I went ahead and chopped up some onions. Now, what I usually like to do is I like to put a little lemon pepper on my country ribs, but I don't have any. So here's a little twist to that. You take a little juice, a little lemon juice, okay? Watch how much you put on here, because you don't want it to be overpowering, but you just drizzle just a little bit across the top, okay? And I also wanted to mention, when you guys are seasoning your meat, make sure you get the size. It's nothing like biting into a piece of meat and one piece has flavor and the next piece is dry. Not good. So if you watched me before, you know I don't like to just put my onions on plain. I like to season my onions. I like to give them some flavor. So I put 2 tablespoons of lemon juice on my onions. And then I season them with the same things that I put for the meat, which is the paprika, the garlic, the pepper, and a little Lawry's. So this is it right there. Here we go. So I'm just going to take that and I'm just going to put this right across the top of the meat. And the reason that I like to do that is because I think that it gives it more flavor. It gives it just a kick. sometimes the onions come out to be the best part of the dish, actually. Sometimes I find myself cutting extra onions because I know that between myself or my sister, we're going to eat all the onions. So this is the last of that. And then I'm going to even take that little juice and just sprinkle it on there as so. So I'm finished with that. So I'm going to dispose of that. Okay. So put that over here. Now I have some foil. I'm going to take this foil and nope, I'm not going to add any water or anything else to it because this meat is going to have its own juice. It's going to produce its own juices. So I'm not going to put anything else in here. I'm just going to put a strip of foil on here and I'm going to put this in the oven. I want this to slow cook. I want it to be super, super tender. So I'm going to slow cook this for about, I have my oven on 350 right now, but I think I'm going to probably cook this for maybe an hour and 20. I'll tap you guys back in around an hour to let you see the progress, because at an hour it just, because you don't want to dry it out, okay? You don't want dry ribs. So you want them to stay juicy and flavorful. And see, I don't know if you guys can see how big these are. So they're nice pieces, so you don't want them to dry out. That's the last thing you do. You don't want them to dry out. So I'm going to just add a little couple more squirts of lemon juice just to get that kick going in there. And I'm good to go. I'm going to put my foil on and stick this in the oven, and then I'll tap back in with you guys in about 1 hour. And we're going to check the progress of our country ribs that are going in the oven. And then we'll start working on the quick and easy side dishes. It's going to be very quick, I guarantee you. So in case any of you guys were wondering, in between while my food is cooking, I always go back and I take either some antibacterial, either the wipes or my Lysol spray, and just in case I go back and I clean my canisters in case I did accidentally touch the meat and touch the canisters, okay? So I go back and I clean. So if anybody's wondering, you know, and that's just, I like to do that just so that I'm cutting down any chances of cross-contamination or any chances of me spreading any bacteria. So I do clean these each time I cook. So you guys, even if you just use paper towel and hot water, just make it a habit of just going back over it. And because sometimes when you're cooking and you're busy, your hands are moving, and so maybe you did touch the meat and touch the canister, and you're not thinking about that. So this is what I do in between there. So I'll see you guys in an hour. All right, guys, so that buzzer is beeping, so that means that it is exactly 1 hour. So I'm going to stop the clock and we're going to check and see. Okay, that's hot. Okay, so we're going to check and see how the country rib is doing. Okay, so you can see at this point, well, I don't know if you can really see. Let's see. Let me scoot this closer. So it's not done, but that's okay, because now I'm going to take, they're almost done, and I can tell that they're tender. And so we're going to do the little tender test, okay? So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to gently see how easy it cuts. So it's still a little tough, that's fine. So I'm going to take a couple out at this time because I'm going to put some in here, because remember I said that a couple of these will have barbecue sauce and some will not. So I'm going to transfer the ones that are going to have barbecue sauce into the smaller pan. Oh, we had smell-o-vision. These bad boys are smelling good. So when I put these back in the oven, I will not put the foil on them now. Okay. And I'm actually going to take some of the juice that's in here. See, I told you guys it's going to create its own juice. See that? So I'm going to take it and I'm going to drizzle it on top. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm just taking some of the juice that was cooked in the other one and I'm going to place it on top. Now my oven is still at 350. I'm going to reset the clock for 30 minutes. And I will not put foil on it this time, okay? So they're going back in for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, while this goes back in, we're going to start on our side items. So I'm going to pop these back in, and then I'm going to tap you guys in, and we're going to jump right into the side items. So for one of my side items, I decided to get some fresh corn, peel the little skins, the little hairs off. I rinse them off, and I have them in my pot, okay? So if you guys have cooked fresh corn with me before, you know that I like my corn to be nice and sweet, and the key to that is my secret here. So I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of butter, I'm sorry. I'm going to put that in the pot, and then I'm just going to take whatever milk that you use, but I'm going to use 2% right now. So I want to take some 2% milk, and I'm going to pour it, and you just eyeball it, no certain amount. Okay, so you can see from there that the water changed to like a milky color. That's okay. We're gonna go ahead and let that boil. I have it on like number 6, so that's kind of like a medium, okay, medium high. So I'm going to let these boil until they get tender. Now the reason why I added the milk and I added the butter is to keep it sweet, but to keep it crisp. It's something about the milk and the butter that brings the cream that makes fresh corn pop. So, oh, y'all, I'm telling y'all, that's going to melt in your mouth. So for my next main staple, since this is quick and easy, we're doing it the easy way. I'm going to pop in the microwave some Simply potatoes, but I won't put those in just yet. I won't start these until just about when the meat is done and the corn is ready, okay? So we're going to wait until the corn starts to do its thing and we have the meat in for 30 more minutes. I'll tap you guys back in. This is a sauce that I'm going to use. It's called G. Hughes. Can you focus on that? And so it is a sugar-free barbecue sauce, but it is delicious. You can't tell that there is any sugar missing. And so this one is gluten-free. It's only 2 carbs per serving, so it's really good. This one is hickory, but I also have the original one here as well. So if you're looking for, you know, if you have a diabetic or somebody in the family, or you're just looking for a good barbecue sauce, G. Hughes. I'm not getting paid for that. I'm not sponsored. I'm just saying it's good, okay? All right, so I'll see you guys when the meat is ready and the corn is doing its thing. All right. Okay, guys, so as you can see, the timers went off, so I took out the one that I wanted to put the sauce in because I wanted to show you guys with the knife. Now, see how easy that cuts now and tender? That's what I was looking for, okay? So that is ready. So I'm just going to take this sauce. Usually I would put it in a bowl and kind of brush it on, but we're just going to go a little rugged today. And then I'm just going to paint that on there. Okay. So I'm going to do each piece like that. And then I'm just going to stick this back in for about 3 to 5 minutes. I just want the sauce to kind of cook in and stick to it. So make sure you get the sides. You want to get all of it. You don't want just some of it to have it. You want it. You want to get a barbecue rib, you may as well get it right, right? So you guys, you have to flip this over as well. Even though it has the onions on this side, it's okay. Go ahead and flip that over so that you can put the sauce on the other side. So it may be a little tender, so you have to be careful so they don't tear. But look at that. Ooh, it's juicy. Ooh, y'all. See that nice coloring on the other side? That's how you wanted to keep it. You didn't want it to dry out. As you can see, the corn is still boiling. It is ready. So now I'm going to pop in. I'm going to make some Texas cheese toast to go with this. Set this meal off correctly. So that only takes 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. I'm sorry, to cook. So while I'm going to put that in the oven, I'm also going to put in the potatoes in the microwave. And this quick and easy meal is complete. So like I said, I'm just putting that back in the oven because I just want that sauce to kind of settle in. I wanted to make its home in there, okay? So that's the only reason why I'm putting this back in. Other than that, as you can see when I cut it, it is tender. It is done, absolutely. So you don't want to dry it out. So that's why I'm only putting it in for a couple minutes, because you don't want it to dry out. I just want the sauce to kind of stick on there a little bit, okay? And I'm flipping it back over because that's the side that had the onions, and it still has the sauce on it. So, all right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the other one out because there's no reason for him to be in there. And we're going to get this quick and easy meal over. All right, I'll tap you guys back in a minute. So I wanted to show you guys, I used this brand of Texas 5 cheese toast. So it takes about 4 to 5 minutes to cook on 425. This is how it turned out. Delicious looking. Check it out. That is it. Yum. Okay, and then for the potatoes that I cooked in the microwave right here. Now I left the spoon in because I wanted to show you guys something. So I like to use Simply Potatoes when I can, or what's the other brand that's in the refrigerator section? I think it's Bob Evans or something. But I like this one because it's made with real butter and milk. Now, here's the trick to that. You just follow the instructions as it says. I did mine in the microwave. So when it tells you to take it out and give it its first stir, that's your point where you can add anything that you want to make it your own. So nobody really has to know that you microwave this. You can switch the container easily. But at that time, that's when I took it out. I gave it the initial stir, but then I added in some seasonings to make it homemade. So I added in my butter. I added in a little pepper. And look at that. And these are thick, guys, just like homemade. You see that? Thick. So that's what I did to make just those refrigerated potatoes a homemade potato. So I'm not quite ready yet, so I'm just going to cover them up. Okay, so we have that, and then here, this is our corn, guys. Let me just move some things around. Everything is piping hot, so I'm trying to be very careful. Now this corn, see that steam coming off there? So I let this just boil, and yes, I did cook it still. I never changed it from the butter and the milk. Now, when you take this out to eat it, you know how you have to put a piece of butter on your corn? You don't have to unless you want to, because look at that. It's going to be so juicy and sweet. You don't need to add the butter unless you want to, okay? So that is optional, but take a good look. That corn, and you focus on that, that corn is going to be juicy. So the pot is still hot. I left it there because I wanted to just sit in the butter and just soak. Woo, that's going to be good corn. Okay, And then under here, we have a finished, sit this here. We have, this one is the barbecue rib. The barbecue country rib. So. Ooh, look at that. And it was easy. We just threw it in the oven, okay? Everything else, we cheated a little bit, but it's still a full meal, but it's easy. Look at that. Okay, so that's the barbecue one. Nice and tender. And you'll still get that kick, even though I didn't use a lemon pepper, but because I used a little bit of the lemon juice, you're gonna get a little kick. Okay, and then back here, let's switch this around. And so this one is just the plain one. And look at it. Beautiful. It's juicy. See that? Has its own juices, so it's not dry. And this was my quick and easy crunchy rib oven meal. As always, I thank you guys for watching. I thank you for your attention. Thank you for always hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate each and every one of you who watches and supports this channel. I thank you. Be good to yourself. Love yourselves. And make sure to love someone else. Until the next video, I wish you all peace and blessings. And you all know what comes next. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. And before I'll do a plating to show you how it looks all plated up. And this, guys, is my country oven rib. Until next time, bye. Be safe.